Alright everyone, today we got you our 11k MMR boy ABED from the Philippines. He's gonna be playing WinRanger. It's a very popular hero nowadays. He's actually playing on a Smurf, but it's extremely high rank. I think it's like top 50 rank at the moment. We've also seen him play in with Among Us in the BTS Southeast Asia tournament, which was quite cool. This game, I really want to watch WinRanger because I think it's very popular and it's quite a good mid hero. It's very flexible in who it can lane against and what it can do. Actually, I think he accidentally ate a fairy fire here. Oh, okay. Never mind. Hold on. Alright. So, what actually happened was he randomed WinRanger in this game and then he just ate the fairy fire and the mango because he doesn't want any advantage in this mid lane.
If you like our content, please do like and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to click the notification button below so you will be notified when a new video will be released.
So his starting item build is 2 tangles, circlets, tangles were shared obviously, circlets, mantle. He's gonna build into a null and he gets a fairy fire early for the damage and the outplay potential. In this game, he's laning into a Queen of Pain. So one thing about WinRanger as a co-op is it's a very hard matchup because co-op, if she shadow strikes you, you're going to be slowed and you can't really trade that effectively, efficiently, whatever. So you need to be very careful with how you lane into a Queen of Pain. So we're going to get to see how ABED does it in this game. So early game, he actually goes for a power shot. So this will allow him to secure last hits easier, and that's what normally ABED always thinks about, right? He always wants to secure last. So here, two melee creeps, he just power shots that, and you will normally try to hit the power shot on the creep to get the last hit, and also on the enemy if possible. And this Queen of Pain, he's a high MR player. He knows what's happening. He's gonna just try to dodge all the power shots when the creeps are kind of low. And every time he is allowed to power shot the creeps and get the last hits, it'll also give him a chance to deny some creeps against his opponent. So he will focus on denying creeps with his right clicks and then try to use power shot to get last hits if it's up. So right now it's a kind of an awkward situation for him because the lane pushed out a little bit and the creeps went to tower, Quap got those creeps, and then the next wave is on the hill here. So if you can see what he's doing, he tries to use his win run to trade with the Queen of Pain a little bit, but then he realized that he's actually losing a lot more HP than the Quap is. And with that, he might want to actually change his game plan in this lane. Because if he keeps doing that, he's eventually going to get out-traded by the Queen of Pain, and here he just uses the power shot to secure the range creep. He doesn't want the Quap to actually deny any creeps. That's very, very important in mid matchups. Like if you can try to not let your opponent deny creeps, that's going to be the best case scenario for you, and you're just going to use your spells for that. So right now you can see his positioning. He's actually playing very, very far back. So he has win run. He can use win run to trade with his Quap, but it wouldn't make any sense. One, the Quap has more creeps, and two, if he actually uses win run, he's still going to lose the trade to the shadow strike. This does actually so much damage to a WinRanger. So that being said, he's actually playing very far back now and just playing for last hits. And if the Queen of Pain runs into him, because the shadow strike doesn't have very high cast range, right? The Queen of Pain will actually take like 2 hits in order to get the shadow strike off, and that's when you actually get better trades than the Quap does. In some other lane matchups, it's okay for you to use your win run to actually trade with your opponent, but against Queen of Pain, now he realizes the best way to play against Quap is actually just play max distance, and the Quap runs in, you kind of run back, and when the Quap runs back, then you can hit the Quap, because the Quap has to get closer to you to use Shadow Strike. And you can see just respecting the Queen of Pain and just moving away every time she walks up. And he'll just play for the last hits in the lane. Any last hits he cannot get because he's too far away or the Quap will try to deny it, he will just pop the power shot first. So level 3, skills up, level 2 power shot, and just use it on the range creep. You don't have to wind it up completely. You can just use like short channeled power shots also to get last hits. That's fine. And you can see with the first gold, he's gonna bring himself a bottle, which is really good, and he's just focusing on denies and last hits at this point in the game and not really playing aggressively on the Queen of Pain anymore. So here, when the Quap walks into the high ground, this is actually really good traits for ABED here, right? Because the cop can miss on the low ground, and you can use your win run now, and then if the cop runs back, then ABED can just follow the queen and just keep on harassing him. And here the cop just has to go back, uses Fairy Fire, and he's got a power shot. He sees the Queen of Pain trying to salve, and then he instantly uses the power shot, like 0.1 second channel, just to cancel that healing salve. So he really understands like what the Queen of Pain is gonna do next. And this, all these small things is giving him an advantage. And now Earth Spirit ganks mid. He actually shackles the range creep to the Queen of Pain, power shots him, and gets a kill before he dies. This is why this man is an 11k god. So he's alive, he goes back mid, power shots the wave, uses the bottle. And he understands at this point, like he's not going to get this rune because Earth Spirit is covering, and Earth Spirit is actually roaming on him a lot. That's okay, because if Earth Spirit is roaming on him, as long as he stays alive and stays at max distance, the safe lane is going to be winning, right? Because the Earth Spirit is supposed to be helping top, but instead he's actually ganking mid. So regardless, it's very beneficial for him. And this Queen of Pain has like level 3 Shadow Strike. It's very annoying, and you just can't afford to take any other damage apart from this Shadow Strike as a WinRanger, because you don't want to die, obviously. So at this point, again, you're just going to continue using power shots to push lanes out and also hurt the Queen of Pain that way if you can. So 5 minutes gets another ward, plants in mid again. This ward also sees the rune bottom, and there's a catapult available on his side. He just wants to shove this mid lane as fast as he can now, so that he can pressure up the tower here, and also go for the power rune. And here the power rune spawns top. Earth Spirit is actually covering the rune, but the Queen of Pain puts herself out of position, and ABED's like, oh, okay, you blink in for this? I'm just gonna use Focus Fire, chase you down. And meanwhile, the wave mid is also pushing. So this was really bad. And the reason why the Queen of Pain had to blink for this is because ABED shoved the lane right before the power rune spawned, and also sent the catapult into a tower. So the Queen of Pain can't push as fast as the WinRanger can, right? You got 350 damage power shot, which is insane. And so the Queen of Pain had to stay here. And as soon as the rune spawned, to not give it to the WinRanger, he actually blinked forward. And he thought that Earth Spirit was enough to help him, but it just wasn't. And just like that, ABED gets another kill on this Clop. And this Clop is like feeling so much pressure now in this game, because he died twice to ABED. Even though this is actually a really good matchup for the Queen of Pain. It's because of how he's been playing in the lane and making it really hard for the Queen of Pain to harass him and not taking unnecessary damage and just using the power shot. You can see here right now, 7 minutes, he actually power shots where he thinks the Queen of Pain is gonna go, and just trying to keep the Queen of Pain low HP. So if the Queen of Pain ever blinks in, she's gonna blink in with very low health. Meanwhile, he's just freezing the lane on his hill. This is like really high skill play here. Every time the Clop only has like 70-68% HP, she's always gonna think twice and has to use bottles in a very inefficient way. And max power shot, 1 level and everything else. And at the moment, he knows that like he can't just run at this Queen of Pain with Focus Fire, because the Queen of Pain can blink out. But if you're playing against a hero who does use their escape or can't escape, you can just click the Focus Fire to harass them and push them out of the lane as well. And in this game, the reason why he's not actually rotating bottom or top is because there is no power runes for him to take. So he's just sticking around mid, pushing the lanes out. He TP's top because somebody is diving there. Wants to help maybe get a kill here. Earth Spirit actually gets out, unfortunately. And just gonna make his way back back to mid lane. So if he actually got any runes in this game, then we might see ABED actually roam to one of the silence and maybe get a kill with it. But because he doesn't get any power runes, he can't help but stay in the mid lane and just bring out more clarities. So after boots, he goes for a javelin here. Finally gets a rune, but it's an illusion. It's not that good. TP stop, sees that maybe there's a chance to kill the Doombringer, but the Doom already ran away, so he just pushes the lane out. Catapult's coming in, so he just wants to shove this lane and then go back to the mid lane again to stop this catapult from doing any tower damage here. So actually the opponents are all smoking mid and kind of kill him here. But he got the lane out mid, and that's what's important. Because if there's no creeps, then the tower is not under any pressure, right? Your opponent would have to tank this tower to even do any damage to it, which is really bad. That gives the opportunity for your team to come in and kill them. So as we can see right now, 11 minutes in, majority of the time ABED has spent just shoving the lane out and just letting the creeps go into the tower and doing tower damage. And just like that, 11 minutes in, this tower is dead. And that was all built up from all the lane shoving that he was doing earlier in the game as well, in the laning stage. And now you can see him just sitting around middle, 12 minutes rune, he just shoves the lane in and goes to the power runes. And just wants to keep controlling the power runes. Every power rune gives him an opportunity to decide like, okay, where am I gonna go? Who am I gonna kill with this? He has a haste, he sees a play top, he hastes up there. There's actually 3 heroes. He ends up killing the position 1 Monkey King, and he trades his life for it, which I think is fine because there had to be 3 heroes who had to kill him, who needed to be there to kill him, and he still got the kill on the position 1. And right now he gets the Knuckles, making his way into a Monkey King bar. Also buys a Wind Lace for movement speed, which is really nice, and goes back to the mid lane when he's alive to shove that lane out again. And here's the Doom. He has a Focus Fire available, doesn't even need it. His team does a lot of damage. They kill the Doom here, and then he uses Focus Fire on the Earth Spirit, and you can see how fast he dies, especially with a hero like Tusk and Tag Team. Focus Fire actually works off Tag Team, which is really, really big. And here he just wind runs on top of the Quap, shackles for the mini stun, and just kills him off. Just like that. And these plays are really good and possible because the mid lane is always being shoved out into the tower, and that gives ABED a lot of information, like where the opponent's gonna come from, and it also puts a lot of pressure on your opponent to try and push his mid lane out instead of engaging into him or his team. And just stays around mid and keeps shoving this lane and just farming the creep camps around this area, which gives him so much more net worth, and also applying pressure to your opponent and giving space to your allies. Here the enemy smokes into him, they go past the creeps. It's the only way that you can stop this lane shoving from the WinRanger. So he dies here, but they actually gave away a lot of information. They used a lot of spells, and bottom tier 2 tower was also under pressure at the same time. So he's going to be alive soon. He actually bought the Tranquil Boots first before he finished MKB because he was dying. He wanted to get Tranquil Boots anyway in this game. So Tranquil Boots is good. It gives you HP regen, but also gives you a lot of movement speed. This hero doesn't really need attack speed, so you're not going to go like Power Treads. Phase Boots is okay, but Tranquil Boots just allows you to have a lot of movement speed early on, and it works well with your Wind Run. So every time you use Wind Run with Tranquil Boots, you pretty much have like max movement speed. And he just does the same thing, goes back mid, shoves that lane, farms into jungle, goes bottom, shoves that lane, and then he realizes that, oh, there's a fight breaking out mid, goes to the mid fight, uses power shot first on that low HP support, finds a really good positioning if possible to drop a shackle shot and his focus fire, gets a shackle on the Doom, and that javelin just does all the work on your focus fire. Gets a kill on the Doom. And you can see, like, it really respects the opponent's team fighting capabilities and just waits for the angle to just kill one hero if possible. Here, something breaks out mid, TP's in, shackle on 2 heroes, focus fires back up, also focus fires the Monkey King, and that's another kill. Let's go net worth here. And you can see the net worth right behind the WinRanger. Not super high net worth or super farm, but he's done a lot by just keeping his mid lane shoved out and creating so much space for his team and being there at the right place for the fights. Like every time he's died, it's not because he's overextended himself. He's died because the enemy just makes smoke plays on him, and they brought a lot of heroes. So here, as soon as he gets MKB, they go straight into the Roshan pit, controlling top of mid, and he picks up the Aegis because he's a pretty fragile hero. And even with the Aegis, I don't expect him to play like overly aggressive, but more like just insurance if the opponent gank him again with like 3 or 4 man smokes. And does the same thing, he just keeps playing in the triangle here, shoves the lane out middle, shoves the lane out top, sees if there's any place he can do, and keeps pressuring up the opponent. And he sees too many heroes bottom, so he TP's down there, and with his Aegis, he's just kind of covering this area and pushing the lane out, but not diving into the opponent. He still respects that the enemy have a lot of heroes off the map, and this is just giving space for his Zhao and Benno to just take the mid tower. He's just power trying to find this Monkey King somewhere here. Finds the monkey under the ward and gets a kill just like that. Really good. And he instantly buys up a BKB with his first 4,000 gold. So this is a very standard WinRanger build. You just go MKB straight into BKB, because when you have BKB and WinRun, if the opponent doesn't have a disable that goes through magic resistance, then you're pretty much invincible. And you can just drop a focus fire on someone, WinRun with your BKB on, and they're pretty much 100% dead. And that's why this hero is so popular, because when you get those two items, you are pretty much just solo killing position 1s, position 2s, anyone really who gets stunned up. So here sees the Doom, he has Arcane Rune, he just drops the ulti and power shots the monkey, gets him stunned up too. He has a BKB, so but because he's still got the Aegis, he's not going to use the BKB. He wants to use the BKB when he's alive, when he revives. And the opponent has to get off him because he popped the WinRun already, and she has an Aegis, so no point. You can just see, like, once you have the level 3 focus fire, you don't mind just dropping it on a hero because it's only a 30-second cooldown. The early game focus fires, you want to use it when, like, you know, you're going to guarantee a kill, or just for harass if it's laning stage. But late game focus fires, you can just kind of drop it whenever you want. And here, WinRanger gets doomed up, but there is an Aegis. Alive, doesn't get the BKB off right away, but the Tusk saved with the snowball, and then he's going to pop the BKB here. And turn around. Focus fire. Sorry, Shaka Shot. 2 heroes. So nice. And now you can just walk up into the high ground. You can drop the focus fire even on the tower if you want to, but he wants to use a focus fire on like a Monkey King or something who tries to come in for the fight. Because when you don't have focus fire, you're not that strong, honestly. So you can only like use shackle shots and power shots at that point whenever you don't have focus fire up. Let's take the objectives. Alright, I think that's pretty good for this game. These are like the 2 most core items. You don't even need to go Chunky Boots. You can just leave Brown Boots if you want. But you go MKB first, then you go BKB right after. And after those 2 items, you can pretty much go for anything you want. You can go Aghanim, so you have 2 win runs and you have like unlocked movement speed. You can go Daedalus for more damage if you want to. You can go Hex if you need disables. Linkens is also a possibility on this hero. If you feel like there's Doom, Lion, these kind of heroes, I think Linkens could be nice as well. So they can't just like instant, you know, Doom you or Hex you or something. And you have time to pop your BKB, which is really good. But throughout the game, the only real damage item you need is actually Monkey King Bar. Because Monkey King Bar plus your Focus Fire can pretty much kill any carry, essentially. And if it's not carries you're killing, you can kill anybody else on your opponent's side. And that's why this hero is so popular and very big pick. I think Position Force can also play like this. But you need to understand that you can go Blink Dagger, Disable build on a Position 4 WinRanger, or you can go this damage route, and that really depends on your team, your composition, and what you're playing against. But this build is really, really OP, and it's really, really good against heroes like Phantom Assassin who have like built-in evasion, so you can just kind of burst them before they actually get items to be able to burst to you. WinRanger is really strong, especially because the win run too, because you get that 100% evasion. Your opponent can't really deal with that until they get MKB. One of the weaknesses to this hero is like magical damage, so that's where you have to be like a bit more cautious in the fights, like this game and how ABED was, because he was playing against Lion, Earth Spirit, you know, Monkey, Doom. These heroes all have disables, and then a big Queen of Pain that can burst you. That's why we saw him be very reserved with how he engages into the team fights, and it was really nice because of it. And you can see his score 9-4 and 9. He just absolutely destroyed this game, even though he was playing against a lot of hard counters against WinRanger.